I genuinely didn't think I was gonna fix that, but I did, and I'm sweating. Okay. I just ran and is the audio bad? Yeah, it is. It's totally bad. I can hear it. Uh-oh. I think it is. Well, I'm sick too, so it's like hard for me to hear anything. Put a 2 in the put a 2 in the chat if it's really bad. Put a 1 if it's fine. If it's fine. Don't look at me like that. Whenever Dalmatians are facing, like, they're showing you their butt just like this, they look so cute. It's all right. Okay. I breathe, bitch. I can't breathe. Like, I'm telling you. Okay. We are taking 99 bananas, which I heard this gave a lot of people alcoholism. That's not funny. I'm dark. Okay. And then 99 grape. So the banana and the grape, supposedly, it's a gumball shot. Let's do it. It better taste like a fucking gumball. Okay. Just doing one. I literally just wanted to try this shit. Okay. We'll never. Well, depends how good it is. I have a glass of pee nice. I feel like that was a lot. That I guess that's not so much. But like, I don't know. I just like don't. I don't know. It's giving UV, but worse. UV blue. I remember my dad had to pick me up from crazy shit we used to do. Doesn't matter. Okay. Don't do this at home. 2 glasses, because this is exactly how you get glass in your shot. Oh my god, it smells like it. Like, actually smells like a gumball. Damn. Look at my nails. We're having a rough day. Okay. It's a rough life. That tastes like a gumball. I like thought it was going I thought it was going a certain way, and I was like, but it actually like canceled itself out. That tastes like a gumball from the machine. That's dangerous. Okay. Okay. Anyways, today's video. Oh god. I'm so out of breath. I need like Flonase or some shit. I don't know. Look, sweating. I identify as a gumball machine. Even I remember in Vegas, they had a lot of laundromats or whatever, and there was always the guys. This was like, I'm not that old. I'm old, but I'm not that old. I'm thinking to myself, these were like your drop shippers before. And they would just go place a gumball machine into different restaurants and then go pick it up whenever. And they make something. I remember they were always at the laundromats and stuff. How's everybody doing? We're all connected. I love saying that. I just love being insane, you know? I'm just like, oh god. Why? What the fuck is determinism? I wasn't gonna swear, but I also said I wasn't gonna be late either moving forward. I feel like I wasn't ready for that, so I have Not connected. We are connected. You're in pain, I'm in pain. No. So, guys, I've been, like, preparing for this proposal that I'm not an I'm like, "What am I doing? Why the fuck are you really gonna go somewhere with a bunch of, like, nerds?" Which is fine, I love a nerd, but, like and talk about sustainability and AI, like, what's wrong with you? You were a bartender. What's falling? Oh my god, everything's falling. It's like, "What are you doing, bitch?" Breathe, gather your thoughts. This tooth is killing me. That's what's going on, okay? They want me on my deathbed. Fucking septic and shit, just like, "And now we approve." It's okay. I live on the edge. Okay. I was about to call an ambulance, but I was like, "That's so dramatic. I would never. I won't be caught dead." But then I was thinking, I was like, "Damn, they probably have the tools to just pull it out." I'm not even trying to go under at this point, you know? I'm like, they just say it out. I'm a nerd, so that sounds dope. I've never done like, other than debate, I've never debate well, I guess see, NAMI stuff, it's different, though. There's, like, workshops I did and shit that were it was, like, families, um, of persons with severe mental illness, and then also, like, caretaker stuff, but, you know, when you're in it, like, I don't know if my brain's just like, "Yeah, we're not gonna remember some of that stuff." So it feels like amnesia, like, it doesn't feel like me. So it's like this specific thing is totally not only is it, like, new, um, but sometimes if you like, everybody always wants to partake in new stuff. They wanna be the first one to do something, for instance. I don't know why. It's a lot of pressure. And I feel like this is one of those areas. It feels fringy. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But as my mother says, YOLO. Okay. Fuck it. I'm just gonna get up there like, "I'm wasted." Okay. I said to MLD, I was like, "You should come." And then every time that I say something, just be like, "Yeah, she's right." Uh-huh, that's true. Like, for the fucking feedback. It's like, "Bitch, you've been doing live streaming for how long?" It's like, "Guys, how do you not sway?" I sway when I would do debates and I would get yelled at. But I also would get yelled at because I would fall asleep. They're like, "That's so rude." I'm like, "Yep, that was rude, honestly. No regrets." Oh, is it not on? It says it's on. Is it quiet? I have it on 6. I can't hear shit. I got one side of my face swollen. Oh, I have I forgot about that, boom boom stick. I wonder if that's what made me sick. Maybe. I don't know. 7. So, for all the people that have normal adult jobs, put a 1 in the chat if you've ever had to do, like, a conference or something. Or, like, speak in front of, it's like that getting up there and speaking doesn't bother me. It's like, I don't think it's like a big stage or anything like that. I think I would assume it's like going to a purse show, like an expo. It's just like a little tent, you know? I don't think it's anything crazy. What is a normal adult job? One that requires professional language and pencil skirts and Mary Janes. It's like not funny. Like, I'm a bartender. I would wear shirts that are like, fuck off. See Snucker. Like, it's like crazy shit. But now we're going to be talking about saving the world and the planet. So it's just funny. I was like, how cool would it be to bring the Tesla robot? It's my date. I think he's so funny. For everybody sending the drone shit, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I saw a picture of something. My sister. That gave me heartburn. I am getting old. Heartburn, 29. God. Stop complaining. I'm living my best life. How could it get any better than this? What was I saying? Oh, they sent me the drone thing, and it was one of those quad ones, and I was like, no shit. So are they like spraying stuff? Are they checking the air quality in New Jersey and shit? And it's like the people are still wondering if those are ours. They are absolutely ours. It's like the government has to lie to us, guys. There's too many people that think it's aliens. And that's concerning. You know, I love you. We're still connected. It's just like you're nuts and you take news. It's like it's out to get you. So I would lie too. Fuck. I'm just seeing like Joe Rogan or something, some random dude I've never seen before on Joe Rogan. And they said a whole lot of nothing. It's like an ex-military guy. And it's just like they're spraying shit in the air. Yeah, you know what? Our air quality is shit. Okay. But if they say that, then people will attribute everything wrong to that and probably sue them. Or it's like, can we ever just like take notes of where the air quality is at? Like, does it have to be a whole thing? You know, I love you. Just saying. Not a red flag at all. Ugh, I have a professional job. Lucky. I wouldn't even know where to apply. I like wrapped cars for a bit. That was traumatizing. I'm just kidding. I'm like, we should do a gingerbread stream. I've always wanted to make a gingerbread house. I don't think I ever have. And I have ideas. Okay. I don't think I would put it all together and then decorate it. I think I would decorate it, then put it together. Get a little weird with it. It's like, oh, but it will collapse. Mine won't. I'm putting like fluff on that. I'm putting fluff. I'm watching puppy videos. Cute. So what is determinism? Can I go to my... Where's my script? It's so hot. I'm calm. But I forgot to do something. I don't remember. Oh, my tea. I was like, I'm missing some. Hold on. Should I go get it? No, it's fine. I'll just get it after. I was like, what did I do before this? From the moment that you were born. Sit down, everybody. Gather around. Sit down. Get your snacks. I'm going to have the hiccups in a second. It's fine. Your parents teach you to be good. Be kind. Share your toys. Don't hit. Say please and thank you. Don't talk back. Obey your elders. Fold your hands just right when you pray. Sorry, guys, I can't hear shit. As you grow older, the lessons expand. Stay out of trouble. Don't fight. Keep your head down. Avoid the wrong crowd. Stuff that doesn't feel right, you know? And then the decisions start coming. At first, they're small. Should I say sorry? Should I let them take the first turn? You make the right choice and the world tells you, good job, you're a good person. And then the choices get bigger. Should I study harder for this test or just wing it? Should I invite this person to my party or leave them out? Should I tell the truth or should I lie to avoid the fallout? You're learning step by step how to navigate the expectations of others, how to be seen as good. But the stakes keep rising. That's not the right one. Get it together. We are on right now. You're at a party, the music is loud. Someone shouts, cops are coming. Do you stay or do you bolt? You're at a bar, underage, voices escalate, a shove turns into a punch, a table crashes to the ground. You maneuver through the chaos, pretending you didn't see anything. I got out just in time. Not that. Hey! You maneuver through the chaos, pretending you didn't see anything. You're watching the news. George Floyd's face flashes on the screen. People are shouting for justice, fists raised, voices trembling with rage. You feel conflicted, grief, anger, guilt. But you tell yourself you're doing the right thing by sitting this one out. The decisions pile up. Do I protest or do I stay home? Do I vote for the person who says the right things, even if I doubt their sincerity? Do I call out my coworker for saying something offensive, or do I keep the peace? And through it all, you tell yourself, I'm doing my best to be good, to make the right choices, to stay on the right side of history. But what about the times that you lied? The times you shifted blame onto someone else just to save yourself. The times you avoided conflict, not because it was the right thing to do, but because it was easier. The times that you judged somebody. George Floyd, a politician you despise without knowing the full story, but with absolute certainty that you were right. You were doing what you thought was good. Sorry, guys, it's all over the place. Deal with it. Like the video. Michael Jackson, not guilty, relief. You felt it immediately. I knew it. He was innocent all along. You told yourself you were not really convinced he did it, that all the doubt you felt before wasn't real, but was it? Later that night, your phone rings. It's your friend apologizing for missing your party. She says her anxiety was too much and that she couldn't leave the house. You tell her it's okay, you understand mental health matters. You hang up the phone. She's blaming it on her anxiety again. Another day, another headline. Ow. A man on trial, guilty, the charges, murdering his parents. You see his face in the mugshot, hollow eyed, no remorse, not an ounce of regret. You don't need to know the details. You've already made up your mind. And it doesn't stop there. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. It's like the first time I hear myself talk, okay? Fucking goddamn. The celebrity divorce, you already know who's at fault. She was always in it for the money. Your coworker gets a promotion, you think she probably fucked him to get that position. Your friend breaks up with her boyfriend, you tell yourself she must have cheated on him. You've judged it all with absolute certainty. But it's not just judging. Jesus. It's not just judging. You judged Michael Jackson for liking kids, then judged everyone who believed the accusations against them. You told your friend mental health mattered, then dismissed her struggle as an excuse. You looked into the eyes of a guilty man and condemned him without knowing what brought him to that moment. So do you still think that you're good? Or is it possible that the choices you've made, the judgments you've passed, the lines you draw between right and wrong, get it? It's like, what is that? It's the draft, okay. Weren't entirely yours to begin with. Free will doesn't exist. It never has. And the only reason you still believe it does is because your brain is very good at lying to you. For centuries, philosophers debated whether free will existed. Then science stepped in and quietly ended that debate, but most of us haven't caught up with what they discovered. Congratulations, you've been lied to your whole life. I think believing in free will is one of the most dangerous ideas we've ever believed in. When we discuss free will, the conversation tends to spiral into the same contentious arguments. People get lost in the philosophy and forget to ask, why does this even matter? Believing in free will, despite everything science has shown us, keeps every person in this room just as guilty as the criminals you claim to despise. Every choice you think you've made consciously has already been decided by your brain. Neuroscientist Benjamin Lebay, I think I didn't double check how to say it, okay? Lebay's experiments showed that the brain activity predicting a decision occurs milliseconds before conscious awareness. Later studies extended this gap to several seconds. What you feel as choice is just a story that your brain tells to justify what it already decided. Determinism governs behavior. Your actions are dictated by genetics, upbringing, and environment. Robert Sapolsky in Behave puts it plainly, quote, "We are biological organisms, not mystical entities. Our actions are dictated by the biology we didn't choose," end quote. Love it. Randomness isn't freedom. Quantum mechanics introduces randomness, but randomness isn't freedom, it's chaos. Decisions influenced by random events are no more free than those determined by prior causes. Hold on. Without free will, the world doesn't fall apart. It stays the same. We still hold people accountable. We still can celebrate achievements, but we stop lying to ourselves about why. Oh, I fucking forgot. Hold on. I'm missing a chunk. I'm sick. Love me. Mm-mm-mm. When we believe in free will, we judge. We judge others for their failures. We judge ourselves for our flaws. We demand blame, assign guilt, and pat ourselves on the back for being better. But morality doesn't require free will. Mm-mm-mm. Under determinism, we still hold people accountable, but accountability stops being about revenge. It becomes about prevention, rehabilitation, and understanding. I totally forgot. I was going to write a part and I was going to write a part that's like, it's always so interesting when I'm even in these debates and determinism comes up, free will or whatever, and something will come up like it absolves people of sorry, I'm yelling. Absolves people of responsibility. And I'm like, bold of you to assume that under your framework, people aren't shifting the blame. At best, they plead guilty to a crime they did commit. At worst, and even just like on a smaller level, my thing's gonna die. I'm insane. No. Hold on. Computer dies. It was gonna happen. Hi from San Antonio, Texas. Hey, y'all. It's cold out here. I just saw him. Oh, Jesus. That's crazy. Crazy. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. There's more. Hold on. Stand by. I have like 20 versions of this part. They're all ChatGPT. They're that rough. They're rough, guys. They're rough, but we're doing it, okay? I always show up. It's like, oh God, beacon. I'm just kidding. A man walks into a courtroom. His crime is laid bare, a theft, a lie. My voice keeps shaking, y'all. I don't know why. A theft, a lie, an act of violence. The room fills with whispers of condemnation. He chose this, but rewind his life, frame by frame, his birth to a struggling mother, the school that failed him, the store that closed. Okay, Janet, leaving him jobless. Oh, duh. It's like, wait, what in the chain of events was his? Step outside and you'll see the same patterns. The addict grasping for relief in I don't get that, a chemical haze. Like I said. The child lashing out in anger because that's the language they learned at home. The executive cutting ethical corners, chasing a success that was defined for them before they could speak. We don't choose our genetics, our circumstances, or the narratives handed to us, yet we call their outcomes choices. You see it, even if you don't admit it. When someone suffers a mental illness, we say it's not their fault. When a child struggles in school, we blame their environment. But the moment those same conditions manifest in a crime, in an act that causes harm, we speak of a moral failing. The inconsistency is glaring. Stop apologizing. What determines where compassion ends and blame begins? You cling to the idea of choice. It is not reason that compels you, but fear. Fear of surrendering the belief that you are in control. Fear of acknowledging that society's mechanisms of shame, punishment, and redemption rest on foundations of sand. If shame worked, why do the same stories play out generation after generation? If free will were real, why are we so bound by our pasts, our surroundings, and our bodies? Janet, she going. I love her. The addict didn't choose their addiction. The criminal didn't wake up one morning and pick a life of suffering. If you pull apart the threads, you'll find no single decision, no moment of ultimate control, only a series of causes. Environmental toxins, traumas, neurons firing in patterns dictated long before the crime. This is not a story. Oh, I hate when they do this shit. It's not a story of despair, but just a story of possibility. I'm like, Janet, F. I hate it. I hate it because I'll literally get distracted and do something else. I'm like, no, sorry, go back to work. And I'm like, Janet is boring me. Like she's supposed to entertain me. Anyways. You fear chaos in a world without free will. I laugh at the absurdity. Nothing changes under determinism. You still wake up tomorrow. You will still love, hate, fight, create, but you might for the first time see clearly. You might stop blaming and start fixing. You might stop punishing and start understanding. It's like not really the vibe. I don't know, Janet. You didn't convince me. It's like, okay. If they could talk back. Why did God make us come to earth? Why did God create? The personified devil doesn't exist. And I'm gonna get to this because it's one of the things that I believe is absolutely degrading society, is this personification of evil, which started in, I'm assuming, like 7 BCE. You guys know I hate the timelines. I hate them. Whenever it split off, Reformation, I would say, and why did that happen? Why is that so important, I guess? So we're about to abstract. Put on your loony caps. I believe that all of our answers to life's complex questions, if you will, are in the material world, but more specifically, they're in the environment. We've just been trained not to see that. And the reason that we've been trained not to do that is because we have also other frameworks set up to make sure that we're doing it without like jumping. We're not making leaps. Because if you made leaps, it would navigate in the world of delusional. Don't ask me how, just trust me, bro. Okay? Put down this line. Okay? I did the work for you. Don't make me break it down. And so it's like, had been writing about how the reason in my worldview that society is collapsing, literally and figuratively, why people are not getting together, why like dating's a big one, family's a big one, anything that deals with like unifying. And it's like, well, why is that? And some people want to blame feminism, others want to blame men for being lazy, whatever it is. And I would say it's like relax, bitch. How do I word it? See, this is the quantum stuff that fucks me up too. Because I fucking failed thermodynamics. Don't get me started. I don't like this shit. I don't like it. I didn't fail, but I didn't do well. I didn't do well. But it's like something happened that pushed us off like homeostasis, if you will. And the thing about that is like most species find the issue and correct itself. Like thinking insects and shit, okay? Somebody or think of bees. They don't let in some male bees because they're useless. And so they die, which it's sad, but it's like, okay, whatever. But like our species, there's so many, because it's emergent in my worldview, some people don't agree with that. It's constantly emerging and we're constantly adapting to the environment faster culturally and in the DNA and shit. So biologically and culturally, I don't think there's any other species, maybe, that does both. I don't know. But because of this, it's almost like we're like blind to the fact. We're like, oh, it must be something else. And so what do I mean by like these bumps? Usually like if there's more disorders, not even saying mental, I'm just saying if there's a rise in certain conditions that are exacerbated by harmful chemicals, you know what I mean? I'm being dramatic, okay? But it's like if we don't remove that chemical from the environment, if it's like toxic to humans, or not even just toxic, but it's like we don't have equipment to remove it from a human. Again, I'm being dramatic just to like draw the scenario. It's like then what we're doing is we have people in an environment that is not optimized for them and then wondering why they're not getting together. I always do the rat in the cage. It's like taking a bunch of rats, putting them in a cage, throwing them in the basement, pumping it with all these chemicals and wondering why they're not getting married. Like it's that delusional, but it's like it's so obvious. We know that with every species, an ecosystem is absolutely necessary. Like something moves an ecosystem off and we fucked. You know what I mean? Wait, is she arguing for or against? I support religion. I would say that religion is honestly depending on, there's different, something that kind of bothers me is like, and I do it all the time, so I'm calling myself out, is like when I'm lazy and I'm just trying to make something sound like it's better for my point. like I'm not going to tackle the fact that religions are very different from each other. It's like they're all the same. Just to get the point across because I'm trying to move forward. But it's like they're not really all the same at all. They have like, they're similar. Like they got similar vibes, but they're genuinely different in the way that God is conceptualized, whether it's like utility or something, or it's actually another person, whatever. So I think that God specifically, like the Christian version of it, is arguably determinism. I sound insane. I sound insane. I'm but it like, I'm tired of being told that when we notice patterns, it's, like, insane. Like, why is it with any other species, they notice a pattern and they're elite? They, like, save the day. I do it and I get in trouble. I'm just kidding. Um, being dramatic. So victim-y. A real man stands alone. Yeah, well, a real woman is I can't. My ego can't do it today, guys, okay? Enough. Enough! I can't. I'm just so stressed. There's no God. Just try to live your best. Yeah. Wait. This is one of Frank Hubert's major themes. Humans modify their environment, but the environment also modifies humans too. Yeah. I always do the Chernobyl thing. I'm like, you have to adapt to the environment. So when we see a rise in certain disorders and people are like, oh, see, their parents suck. I'm like, are you okay? Genuinely. One of my pet peeves, and granted, I am not a mother. Okay, I'm not. I probably shouldn't continue with this sentence. I'm sorry to all the moms. They're like, here she goes. But it's true. But like, just it's not the only factor. I feel like when you have kids, this is just my observation. Y'all be really quick to blame it on parents, but what do you do when you can't? Then who do you blame? Y'all get real quiet then. I'm just wondering. And I didn't finish that thought earlier because I'm insane. But I think when that personification of evil happened, we saw a shift in what pure religion was and meant to be. And you saw it used as a control mechanism. And why does that happen? Well, if you look at how people are so caught up in the concept of free will and the ability for control, like I'm telling y'all, fucking make a compilation of those videos. Absolutely pearl catching. I'm like, can you just like forget it for like 2 minutes, Mike? I'm just kidding. But people need control. I'm like, you're so egotistical. Like, it's a vibe. Just kidding. That's egotistical of me for calling out that egotistical. Takes one to know one. But it's like I realize it causes a visceral reaction, which is why I don't go into a debate trying to say my morality is better than yours, because what happens, okay? When we are dealing with the ego, the triggered self, they don't hear you. And the worst thing that you could do with anybody who's unconsciously behaving that way, or subconsciously, depending on who you ask, there is no way to get through to them. The only thing you can do is build trust. And so if I already go into a situation trying to be like, mine's better, what I do is I completely obliterate the opportunity to build that bridge, to be like, hey, there is morality out there that does not need religion. But anyways, so the unconscious self, we moving. Okay, thank you. I was saying that personification, slow it down. I'm trying to talk to myself nicer, and I've been very mean to myself this whole time. Don't do it. You dumb bitch. Sorry, you can't see it, but it was like dripping. But what do you call it? So why does the ego matter? That personification of evil? Because that's when narcissism started, y'all. That's when narcissism. See, I say narcissism, which the word is fucking overused. But what I'm really detailing is like egocentric behavior. By egocentric, like it's all about me, and everything that like you do threatens my it's like they feel like they're going to get exposed. It's the exposed shit. And so what they do is they shift the blame all the time. It's like, Tori, not everybody has dealt with this. I would argue everybody has, actually. I would say it's probably a universal truth. I can't make that claim. Don't do it. But I would say that's when it began. And why is that important? Because what that said was that people stopped being their true self at some point. And I don't fault people for it. It happens, whether it's like to trauma, it could happen to anybody. But the problem is, if you have that, everything you do is serving that ego self. And so that's when you see revenge. That's when you see retaliation, smear campaigns, whatever it is. But it happens on a collective level. It's not just like, oh, they're in drama. No, this has been going on with humans. And one of the things I would talk about with like Richard Dawkins and Jordan Peterson is a really big problem right now in this day and age is that we have discovered that people see the world through narrative, not truth. Okay, so like let that sink in for a minute. It doesn't matter who you talk to, what experts, people communicate where it's only narrative, meaning that what you think you mean when you talk to somebody is going to be different than how they perceive it. Why does that happen? Because when you're talking to most people in this day and age who are not healed, like some people who are older, I feel like kind of get it consciously, but like when you're in it, like I would argue like most people have zero idea. It's like you wouldn't know until after the fact. And I know that's probably not a satisfying answer. Sorry. I'm out of breath. But my worldview is like that was an instance in history that we did not check. We didn't check that behavior and say, hey, that's not truth. So it genuinely, I think that was when, which was like a long time ago, that was when Christianity got corrupt, if you will. It could have been anybody, okay? But they didn't do anything wrong. Not yet, you know. Depends on who you ask. It depends. But like because of that, so when they do the thing for the ego self, it's all about control. When in doubt, it's control. If you see something about it depends. I gotta watch this movie my sister wants me to watch called Carry On. Did you guys watch it yet on Netflix? Apparently it's dealing with like a sort of like a terrorist plot. I don't know. It has to deal with the whole sort of presidential voting scheme. It like involves those types of layers. I'm like, dude, we need narratives that talk about this thing. That's going to be the next big meme, if you will. You want to know a meme that's going to like set the world off? It's going to be a depiction of that, what you think you say versus how it gets perceived type thing. I know I'm speaking so vague. I'm sorry. But it's always about control. And so it's like nobody operates on truth anymore. That's scary. That's very scary. And so determinism arguably brings the truth principle grounded. It grounds it. But I would say what came first, determinism or religion? Really sit with that question, then come back to me. I just think that religion was like humans' way, narrative again. That's the only way they could communicate. Remember, it's always going to come back in a narrative. It's not a rational fact. It's not objective. It is always a narrative, meaning it's always subjective. And so I didn't finish that. I'm so sick. But because it's in the narrative, it's like people were blinded to it. People were like blinded to that thing because like how do you describe that, like the lie? It's like when something happens like a lie, if somebody is operating from like an egocentric view on something like religion, for instance, is you have to on some level like lie and deceit, which is not moral. It's like, can you prove that? And it's like, well, no, but can you? Bold. Bold. Prove God. You can't. Me neither. It's just like one way to look at how I see the world. I'm not even saying it's true. I'm hypothesizing. My birthday is next week. Happy birthday. Hello. Tales of what? Or that could be me. Hi, Nick. I got my mouth. It's so chapped. We need access to the Vatican's library. I want to sit on the chair. I want to sit on the chair. That's all. Did I land the thing I was saying? I sound so tired. Did I land the thing I was saying about religion being a human's way of conveying determinism? I mean, it makes sense. I don't know. I want chocolate. She's trying. What'd I do? What did I do? I'm sorry. Emotions are more important than logic. Yeah. I'm working on this thing about like the fear response. It's a whole thing. I don't want to go down that line of sometimes I'm like thinking, I'm like, I feel like we've gone too far. If it feels a little bit stressful, we're not going to dance with that. That's my measure. It's like, how do you know when you're thinking too much? If it stresses you out. So I have to give it a day. But I was trying to see why we're so, I mean, it makes sense. Why we're so driven by fear. And is it that mechanism that changes the outcomes? Like, arguably, I don't know how to land this because I think in big systems. I don't think bottom up. So, and YouTube is all about talking bottom up, and I can't. Maybe one day, but I can't right now. Okay, but it's like it seems like because of that language thing with the like the we can only speak in narrative, but then also the fact that people are operating from an unintegrated self. What that does is it, in my opinion, sets up like fucking 5 possible outcomes, superpositions, I don't know, and collapses. I don't even want to go there. Superposition, what's the other thing? It's like when you lie about your reality unconsciously. Remember, it's like people aren't necessarily aware that that's what they're doing. You end up creating a bunch of different like realities. That sounds insane. Oh, I really hope that I'm not developing psychosis, okay? Or monitoring. It's not off the table. It's like, that sucks. Women have rights. Take them away. Oh my god. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's just that today we have the internet. Yeah. And it ain't that bad thing, too. You look like Ben. I don't know who that is. Oh my god. I just need to get some. Yeah, probably. Logic is more important than emotions. Like, essentially, I had like an existential crisis, low key, because I'm just like, wait a minute. We have. Is our view of consciousness completely faulty because we have absolutely no way of conveying a personal experience into some sort of objective fact? It's like sometimes you can. It depends on the thing. I don't know. I don't know. Should I go for a run? Is that bad to do when you're sick? Can't breathe. I mean, who knows? It's in the fam, honestly. It's like these ideas feel too good. Never know. Rather be aware. We'll deal with it if it comes. Do you think Kanye West is a good rapper? Sure. She's fine. He believes he's God and he's doing just great. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he does. You need to go have. Oh my god, it's 125. Rights should come with pay stubs. Yeah, and you know what Cornhub should come with? Are you still watching? What's the thing that comes up after Netflix? It's like, are you still watching? And just like screen grabs. It's like not funny. Shut up. I want to go watch that movie. I downloaded Netflix to watch it. Apparently, it's really good. I like action movies. My sister recommended it. It's called Carry On. Here, I'll read it. Tell you guys what it's about. It's like the Christmas movie this year. Carry On 2024. Everybody's saying it's super good. Was the most watched debut on Netflix this year. The film just nabbed 42 million views in the first 5 days of release, which easily make it biggest 2024 opening for a Netflix original. I heard it was similar to the Phone Booth movie. That was before my time. I feel like I remember that cover though. I don't know, guys. I feel like I'm delirious. Nab them without asking. I don't know. It like didn't give me a summary, and so I just clicked off. I'm done. It's my bad. I meant to read that, didn't I? uh, mm. A young airline security guard is blackmailed by a mysterious passenger who threatens to smuggle a dangerous package onto a plane on Christmas Eve. Watch the trailer. The trailer's really good. Okay, I'm sick. I love you. I'm going to make I was like gonna go for a run. I'm gonna make hot cocoa and drink some water. I love you. Be nice to everybody. We're all connected. Okay, love you. Bye.